Hey everyone, I'm Kim with Kim's Gifts and Decor. I hope everyone is having a great Thursday. When you come on, say hi. I have a hair in my face. Today I am doing a cutting board here. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the top yet. This is the little bunny cutting board with the egg. Hey Albert, how are you? It is, thank you. I'm going to do the little bunny with the cutting board, Easter cutting board with the egg. This guy measures 7.5 inches tall, the cutting board itself. And I'm not sure what route I'm going to take here. How are you doing today? I can't wait to watch you on Monday. You said Monday at 10, right, Albert? Now that's going to be pink. That's going to be pink. White. Brown, white. I have motion all over the place. Then I was all confused. For some reason, I thought I was starting at 4 o'clock today. I just looked and I'm like, who's on at 3? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on at 3. Surprise! Surprise, right? On your page, 10 and 1? You're on it both times? Are you selling it one and then crafting it and selling it one time and then crafting it another? Does that make sense? So you could do this, the cutting board itself, the traditional whitewash with the brown, to make it a brown cutting board. And then I would, if I did that, I would dry brush on their streaks for the cutting board of light mocha. Hey Shay, how are you? Gotcha. So I will definitely check you out on both times on Monday. Can't wait. So again, you could just do it the traditional brown cutting board color, but I'm gonna go pastels, being the Easter. Hi Dahlia. Puppy dog came in to visit. What are you talking about, Mom? Who are you talking to? I know. Well, that's because I fill in where there's a blank. So instead of having myself permanent, I fill in where there's a blank because I figured I was gone all summer long, so I kind of gave up my spot. It wasn't fair to take it away from somebody else who was on then when I was off for so long. So I kind of fill in. And Mrs. P said she was going live today, so I didn't take the 4 o'clock. When she came back from being sick, she took her 4 o'clock spot back. And then I just kind of fill in where there's an opening. So I was on last week at 4, and for some reason I thought I was on this week at 4. But no. Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. Springy colors. But again, so if I was going to do this, the traditional cutting board brown, I would dry brush it with, not dry brush it, I would baby wipe it with burnt umber, the baby wipe method, and then I would dry brush it then with light mocha over the top of it to give it up and down streaks for the cutting board part of it. But I'm going to go pastels, so don't have to worry about that. So we've got that pink, and then I'm going to do the heart in pink and the nose in pink. then when that dries, while that dries, I'm going to do the bunny, the feet, and the head in white. The pink I used was Deco Art Americana Bubblegum Pink. And then let me put you down a little more. Hi, Dawn. How are you? And then the white I use is Deco Art Americana Snow Titanium White. So we had a couple changes today. Shelby was on from 5 to 7. Ginger never made it on today at 8, so she was not on. And then Michelle with Crafty Ma'am was on at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, she was on a little bit, she started about 15 minutes late, but it was Jan Ann with Uniquely Chic by Jan Ann. At 11 was Cece with Dragonflies and Hearts. And then Teresa wasn't feeling good today, so she did not go on at noon. Janine was on at 1 with Georgia Morning Glories. And then Catherine with Down a Flagstone Path was on at 2. Then you've got me at 3, not 4, which I really thought was 4. But at 4 is Mrs. P, Pam with Crafting with Mrs. P. And then at 5 is Kathleen Cabradilla in Hawaii. I'm so jealous. I want to go to Hawaii so bad. That's on my bucket list. So she's on at 5. And then at 6 o'clock is Sam with Kome's Crafting Corner. And then at 7 o'clock, you've got Shay with Shay's Creations. And then at 8 o'clock is Raymond, the Evercrafter. But yeah, you're right, Albert. That's pretty bad. I make up the schedule and then I have the time wrong. It's a good thing I looked before it started, right? Now, it's okay if you end up getting where it's scored for the heart, because that's just a score mark to where you're going to put it, so it doesn't really matter if it's filled in. You don't have to worry about that. We're going to let that dry. This isn't dry yet. Oh, I'll wait. I'm going to do a purple egg. Purple I'm going to use is Deco Art Americana Purple Cow. How's everybody doing today? Are they staying warm? It's raining here terribly. Cold, yucky, and raining. I don't think I'm going to use the toothbrush at all today to splatter. But you could splatter your egg, or you could splatter the cutting board if you wanted to. I'm going to put that second coat on the pink on the front. Now this comes with 2 other pieces in the set. This is a set. And there's actually more to the set, but I do have 2 other ones. As soon as I'm done. There is a carrot that's on a frame that's outlined. And then there is a portrait, a picture portrait of Mr. and Mrs. Bunny that go along with this. So you can get them individually, or you can get the set. I wanted to do the bunny portrait, but I didn't think I'd have enough time to finish it in an hour. I'll show you that here in a second. This is the carrot. This is the carrot here in a frame. You've got your outline, and you can go either way. You can go up and down, or you can go side to side. And that does come with a small easel. Hey Sam, how are you? Or here's a little bunny portrait of the Mr. and Mrs. Bunny, and that comes with a little easel as well. But the cutting board I did cut from 1/4 of an inch material, so the cutting board itself is thicker, and then the accessories are 1/8 of an inch. So you really don't need the easel for it, but if you wanted it, you could still get it. or if you have one. But I did cut the cutting board a little bit thicker because I think cutting boards. Yeah, Harley's toothbrush is safe for this week. This week only. No promises after that. No promises after that, Albert. Definitely going to need 2 coats on everything. And I love this DecoArt Americana Snow Titanium White. Although, did y'all see? Hobby Lobby's stopping carrying it. So far Michael still has it, but Hobby Lobby is not carrying it anymore. I'm like, what? I don't know why. I don't like when they got rid of, what did they get rid of? That they went to their own name brand, and I just don't like it. It's so much thinner. So I'm hoping Michael still keeps it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to order it offline. So we've got a second coat on there. I did forget the second coat on the little heart and the nose, so I will do that. And then I'll do a second coat of the purple on my egg. Yep, Harley's toothbrush is safe this week. Hey, at least it's white, right? It'll be brightening up his teeth. Hey, Margarita, how are you? Thank you for joining. Then these 2 little buttons. I'm going to do burnt umber. Walmart.com for the DecoArt paint. I know they have folk art, but I did not see DecoArt there. I never got DecoArt from there. Not that they don't have it or don't sell it, but I usually did get the, I know they have folk art in store. I don't know about online. I don't do a lot of online shopping, so. Thank you, though. I will check that. Hey Vicki, how are you? Welcome. We are doing a Easter cutting board. So I'm going to do the back side now. I'm going to do a pink as well. And again, this is the Bubblegum Pink by DecoArt Americana. I really like this whole set. Shay, did you ever buy DecoArt brand from Walmart.com? So I'll do 2 coats on the back as well. Now the back of the bunny, the back of the egg, and the back of the heart and the nose, I will not have to do because that's getting super glued down. Hey Michelle, how are you? Hi Mrs. P, how are you? I was just talking about you. I thought I was going on at 4 today. 8 minutes to 8 minutes to 3. I look at the clock, I'm going, oh no, I'm on at 3, not 4. When you don't go on, I go on at 4, and for some reason, I thought it was 4 this week because I was on at 4 last week, so it's a good thing I looked. Albert said, that's pretty bad when you make up the schedule and you don't know. But I was saying, yeah, I just kind of fill myself in to where there's an opening. So, and then if there's no fill-in, I don't go live that week, but that's okay. How are you feeling, Mrs. P? And everybody check out Albert Crabtree on Monday at 10 o'clock and at 1 o'clock. Albert, which one are you crafting at and which one are you selling at? Which time? So we've got that. I've got my 2 coats of white on here, but there's one spot I want to redo. Right here. So we've got that done. The feet, and then the ears. So we've got that. Now, I've got my flowers here. Let me move the heart and the nose. I'm going to do a grass green. The grass green I use is Craft Smart that I have. And I'm going to do grass green on the leaves here. I don't think I shook this enough. It's a little watery, but that's okay. I'll give it a couple coats. And I really don't need the center because I've got a little flower to put on there as well. If I go with that, because I have another option. But if I do, we'll see. Then this I'm going to do French vanilla. I know, right? And when you were off for all those weeks, when you went and I was going in at 4, so I got used to going at 4. But that's okay. We make it work, right? We make it work. Here's the other side of this. Nah, because you know I'm going to get it all over my fingers. You just know I am. Both crafting and selling at 10. Okay, so you're crafting and selling at 10, both, and then maybe 1 also. Okay, see how it goes, huh? So everybody check out Albert Monday. That's Eastern, right, Albert? That screws me up too. He doesn't have his business page yet set up. It's under his name, Albert Crabtree. Everybody's doing such cute stuff today. Yep, just his personal page. And then Eastern, okay, thank you. He's doing duos though, so it'll be on the other. Who's the other crafters? Who's the other crafter with you, Albert? So we can catch ya. So this is the second coat on the back of the pink. Again, bubblegum pink for those that just came on. And I know it looks real pinky, but we're gonna take care of that, y'all. You could go a lighter pink if you want. I am gonna go a little bit lighter pink in the bunny's ears and the cheeks. So I'm going to do Baby Pink by Folk Art. I don't like that one. Goodbye. So I have my finger dauber here. Now I'm going to take, let me do this first. Let me do a green again. Okay, we've got our green again. Now I'm going to take the finger dauber with the burnt umber. Get it all, most of it off. And I'm going to go around the edges of my egg here. And if you didn't want to go brown, I'm giving like a little rustic look. You could do a darker or a lighter purple or even a white. Like so. So we've got our egg. And then the reason I did that, well, oh wait. Then I'm going to do the same around the bunny with the burnt umber. Now the bunny head and the feet are going to go on as well. So it's really only the body. At 10 is Crafty Amy Girl, and 1 is Liz's Creations, Pink Frosting Divas group page. So look on the Pink Frosting Divas group page. And Albert's page. Hey Kathleen, how are you? So I got the same with the bunny body. And the other side. And then the same with the feet. And then the head. We've got around the ears. I love these finger daubers. I get them at Hobby Lobby in a big bag for like $9 something. But I love them. I used to use the baby wipe and put some on the baby wipe, but then the baby wipe would take some off as well, where the baby wipe I can take, if I put too much on with the finger dauber, it can take it off like I just did right there. So, what? Where I got in the center there, there's too much. While it's wet, you can take the baby wipe and take it off right away. a little highlighted, but not that much, y'all. Lydia's Creations. All right. I was thinking, is that somebody new? I don't know. I was gonna have to check it out. And then I am gonna go on the bottom. I'm gonna take a little bit lighter pink for the ears. In the center, so let's get a new dauber. And the cheek. And then I'm going to kind of use the side here. Hi, Janine. I got the time mixed up too. I thought I was on at 4. I looked at 8 minutes too, and I'm like, oh, Mrs. P's on at 4 this week, and I'm on at 3. So I had to hurry. And then we're going to do his little cheeks. Little rosy cheeks. So it wasn't just you. I was explaining to everybody I kind of fill in, and last week I was at 4, and this week I thought I was at 4, but I wasn't. That's okay though. I know, right? Autocorrect. And it does it at the most inopportune times, right? It's like, what the heck is this thing thinking? Because that's not what I was saying. There we go. So you got his ears and you got his little cheeks. Then I'm going to take a white finger dauber and go a little bit on the heart, around it. You could do brown if you wanted to keep it rustic. And then the same with the nose. Let that dry for a minute. This guy's just about dry. Flip it back over. It should be the last coat on there. Then I need black, which is in my living room because I craft everywhere. I craft in my living room when I'm watching TV at night with my husband. So I left the black in there. Maybe I have another one. I do. I have another one. I like to see how we do the eyes here. And then that just kind of fills it in perfect. I don't have to worry about getting outside the lines or nothing. So that kind of just worked it out. It worked out perfect. Okay. So now we're going to glue the bunny head on the bunny. Let's let's let the eyes dry first before I go messing that up, because you know I will. But we're going to take black and we're going to go around the heart so that it's nice clean. And there's no colors going over the edges, and it's nice and smooth and clean. And then we're going to do that with the nose. Janine, your door hanger is really cute. I love those colors. And then we'll do his feet. The egg. And the body. I'm still not going to get the eyes because they're not completely dry because I did it with the dot maker, so it's still, it's a little bit thick, so it's a little bit wet. And I don't want to put the dryer on it because sometimes it'll make it smudge and then dry wonky. So I'm not going to do that. And you could do brown if you wanted to do brown around the edges. All up to you. I'm going to do the cutting board after. I've literally changed my mind on what I was making 4 times today. 4 times. And then I couldn't change my mind again when I figured out, oh no, I'm on at 3, not 4. So, yeah. So now we have our super glue. Get the bunny on the board. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you for sprinkling, Janine. And now we've got our egg. And in the real world, it's better if you let the edges dry a little bit, the marker on the edges dry a little bit because it's still wet and it'll come off on your fingers some. I'm trying to get it off so it doesn't get on my white. I'm going to take my, cover this right in front of me, but I'm going to take my dot maker. I'm going to put dots on my egg. I'm not going to make them as thick as the eyes were. I'm going to go thinner. Thank you for sprinkling, Kathleen. Move this guy here, here, and then I'm going to put dots on my egg all over. just so it's not a plain Jane egg. And then every once in a while, I just wipe off my dot maker. It starts to accumulate on there. Hi, Morticia, how are you? Got a little splatter of purple on there, or white on there. Okay. So we've got our egg with the dots on the egg. We're gonna. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Now I'm gonna glue the head on. And then the nose. See, like that. I just got black on the ear. Came right off though. I forgot my alcohol pads. If I put alcohol pads on there. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hi, Lisa. And then I've got the feet. And the heart. That's why I said it was okay if you got some in the little spot for the scoring for the heart, because it was just going to go over the top of that. And then I am going to take a little bit of the white and go over my buttons here a little bit, just so that they look a little distressed on the edges as well, and they're not just so stark brown. And I have two of them, but I don't know if I'm using two, but I did them just in case. And then I am going to take a little bit of the brown. I am using Loctite Super Glue. I like the Gorilla Glue too. The Gorilla Super Glue. Thank you, Michelle. Springy, even though it's cold. It's starting to warm up here a little bit. Not like New York City that had all that, the blizzard. That's terrible. black off my fingers again. Like I said, if you have alcohol will take it right off. I'm gonna put my hot glue gun on. I'm gonna take the leaves, and I am going to take my white and go along the leaves. And seeing as how I have I want a bow. I want a bow, y'all. Let's see. I'm going to go real quick over this with the black. I thought I had purple. Especially if you go over it doing the edges, it gets along the sides, so we'll let that dry. 39 heat wave. Heat wave there, Michelle. Goodness gracious. Whew. Now I'm going to do a bow. Let's do a pink bow here. Before that, I'm going to take my purple. Now I can either do two things. I can put this on with this. Let's glue this on, and I'll show you what I mean. Two different options here, y'all. I guess that would be a heat wave, huh, Michelle? Considering it's not like 11 below or 11 degrees out. You had horrible, horrible cold weather. If I miss any comments, I'm sorry. I'll go back and watch after. And now we've got this in the center. So the option is we can either put that there, okay, or we can put this there, the raffia with the little egg. And then I'm going to put a bow right there, but it's too much pink for me, so I'm going to take my, and I would much rather have a purple ribbon. I don't think I'm going to put that ribbon on. I want a purple ribbon. I'll put one on after. But I'm going to take the purple, and I'm going to do 3 dots. Boom, boom, boom. All over the place. I'm going to go boom. It helps if you say that when you make dots too. Boom, 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 right? And put your thumbs up. I always craft with my thumb up for some reason. I don't know why. You forgot to post the lineup? It's been -0 the last couple days. Oh my gosh, Michelle. Holy cow. I can imagine your electric bill. Holy cow. We've had our furnace going, and then in the living room where the addition is, it's brick. So I have a fake fireplace where my TV sits on, and that thing uses a lot of electricity. Definitely is a heat wave, Michelle. You could have dry brushed white on here. You could have dry brushed brown. And I like the 3 dot. Kind of gives it a little more something something. And it doesn't take long at all with the dot maker. You can get the dot makers at Hobby Lobby. People have been selling them on here with tools. In the group for their live sales. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I see that I use mine a lot. I don't blame you. I wouldn't be going to the she shed out in this either, Michelle. I'd be crafting in the house, for sure. I already have Kim's Gifts and Decor in my front craft room and the front living room. The add-on where the TV is. Because I'll sit at night, watch TV with my husband, and paint as well. The she shed's only 75 steps. That's like going out to my mailbox. My husband says, "Did you check the mail?" I'm like, "I'm not going to that mailbox." The only time I go out is when I have to go to the post office, the doctor's, or the grocery store. And it's been raining horribly here today. Wouldn't? See, you should make that and you can become rich and then you wouldn't have to work. It would be so much easier if they did a 3 dot maker. Do you use 3 dots a lot too? Almost done. But it makes it look so much nicer. Gives it that little something. You can't forget the top. Got to go all the way up and around, y'all. Because it'll look like something's missing. That would be cool. And now those dots have to dry. So, we've got that. And I like using both together. The single dot and then the 3 dot. You'll see on here, that's what I did on this one. I used the single dot for the 1 egg and then the 3 dot for the other. So yeah. So now we need our little I brought it in here. probably sitting right in front of me, y'all. Dots and dashes. Can't forget our dots and dashes. You really don't need to on the egg because you do have the little dots themselves. So you really don't need to. That'll just give it a little something, something else. And then once this dries, I am going to go around the edge of this with my finger dauber and the brown on the board itself. So now I'm going to do a bow. We'll do a pink bow. I wanted a purple one, but I didn't bring it. Now the question is, let me dry this a little bit so I can show you. And I need that brown because I won't be able to tell. See the difference already? Just putting the brown around the edge then. And how that looks. So now the question is, we're going to give this guy a bow in the center here, but then do we put this here, which is the raffia, or we put the green leaves there? Which one do y'all like? And I'm going to make a real translucent pink bow. You like the raffia? We've got our little bow. My hot glue gun is going. So we've got that right there. And then I will use the last button to put over the top of his bow. Like so. And I'm going to super glue my finger to it. It's nice that it's translucent like that. because it's not too much pink then. And then we have the raffia bow here. With the egg. So the only thing I have to do is the edges of the cutting board. So there we have it. We have our pastel Easter cutting board. What do y'all think? You had a few phone calls turning. Thank you, Pam. But see how just doing the brown around the edges made it so it wasn't too pink then? And there we go. And you could do a purple bow, you could do a different color bow if you wanted to. But with adding the 3 dots, now that I look at it with the purple, I think I like that little pink bow. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Sam. Thank you, Shay. So I want to thank everyone for joining me. After me is Pam with Crafting with Mrs. P at 4. 5 o'clock is Kathleen Cabradilla. 6 o'clock is Sam with Kome's Crafting Corner. 7 o'clock is Shay with Shay's Creations. And then 8 o'clock is Raymond with the Evercrafter. So thank you all for joining me. I will see y'all next week and have a great, safe weekend. Thanks, Vicki. Take care, y'all. Bye.